Anybody out there? Hello? It says there's 3 people there, hiding somewhere. Anybody gonna say hello? Mal, hello. Thanks. I wish I felt as well as I look then. I haven't been too good lately, but still going. Hello, Jack. Oh, good to see you. Steve, hello again. It's been a while since I've done this. Oops. Actually, just had another record delivered. Double Dynamite, RCA Pair label. 2 discs in a single sleeve, RCA Special Products. It's the track listing is pretty much Camden material. Doesn't seem that many songs for a double disc set. Oops. Steve, no, I didn't get them. I've gone a little bit off Record Store Day. I'm not sure the VPI ones were truly Record Store Day releases, were they? I think they just called them that. But I may pick them up eventually. I suppose I should get the which one is it? The songwriter, because I've got all the others. Patricia, hello. I don't speak Spanish. Hola. I think that's hello, isn't it? Julie, hello. Now, Julie was the only person that spotted my deliberate mistake in my King Creole video. Where did I put? Hold on a second. Just got to try and find something. It'll be buried. So is everybody having a lazy Easter Saturday? I was supposed to be working today, but that got changed last minute. It's been good to just sit and relax today. My wife's making a traditional Russian cake, Easter cake. I dread to think. A lot of the cooking she knows is from when she was growing up in the Soviet Union. So the ingredients sometimes are quite frightening. But we'll see. So shall we be controversial right away? What's everybody's opinion of Priscilla's book, new book? Do we really need it? Jack, if you had to guess how many Elvis LPs do you have in your collection? I think the last time I seriously tried to add them up, it was about 1,500. I've added a lot since then. And then there's all the singles, EPs, cassettes, CDs, and my single 8-track. Patricia, what's the cake like? I don't know. She's been making it all day. The kitchen looks like a disaster area. Whenever she cooks, it looks like Chernobyl afterwards. I have to go in a hazmat suit and clean up. Juan, hello. Thank you. Tom, hello. So is anybody going to buy Priscilla's new book? You have a lot of albums. Is it only in that room where you are? Now it is, yeah. I used to have some stuff stored elsewhere. I've moved the boxes, but I've still got to unpack some of it. So I find it hard to find things sometimes. So no interest in the book. Well done. One thing I object to very much is she still calls herself Priscilla Presley. Under the terms of the divorce, she was not allowed to use the Presley name. She is not Priscilla Presley. Mal, are you getting the clam bake box set? I'm very, very tempted. I've resisted so far, but I'll probably give in at some point. It does look good. Not a very good film, but yeah, I'll probably give in. Sean, hello. So, we'll see. Does everybody know about this this chap who was an American airman in Germany when Elvis was there, who wrote a book about what happened with Priscilla and Elvis, and she sued him? Is everybody aware of that? Because I hadn't heard about it until quite recently. But he gives a very different version of the story of how they met. Juan, what does your wife think of her Elvis collecting? She thinks I'm insane. She's probably right. She can't grasp the concept of having more than one copy of an album. I mean, it is insane if you think about it, but any form of collecting is. But when I see things, like recently I saw a picture of the Spanish Paradise Hawaiian style. Now I have to get it. Now I have to hunt one down. Well, we're collecting. You either get it or you don't. You're never going to really explain to anybody, are you? One family's teased me because I have several copies of Elvis's back. I won't tell you how many copies of Elvis's back I've got. I've been on a little hunt lately for more copies of Elvis 40 Greatest, which came out on the arcade label in the UK. And some countries released their own version of it. So I've just tracked down an Italian copy, which is on its way to me. And if I can remember where I've put it. Where did I put it? I just got one from Brazil. Oops, if I can remember where it is. Probably up there. Ah, there we go. So that's the Brazilian version. They've all got exactly the same tracks on. And it opens out like that. The inside cover was a bit of a waste of space. Some nice pictures, but they could have done a lot more this side. So Sonia's giving Priscilla a miss. Good. Well, Sean has to get Priscilla's book because he's a book collector. Yeah, Priscilla's, my opinion of her has gone right down. Patricia, if I can help with a Spanish copy, let me know. Thank you. I have actually seen one for sale, so I shall see if I can get it. Man, I just got the 67 radio special, How Great Thou Art. Is that an original or a re-release? Patricia, my family not Elvis fans, nor my friends. Now, I think that's true for a lot of us. Being an Elvis fan is quite a lonely thing. When I was a kid and I became a fan, I did know two other people about my age who were also fans, and one chap who was like 18, 19, because I'd have been about 11. My mum liked Elvis. She wasn't a fan, but she liked him. But every time she would go anywhere, if she saw a magazine with Elvis on it, she would buy it and bring it home for me. They never take Elvis very seriously, but as long as they respect that, that's fine. Jack, I know that you're not a Beatles fan, but my wife doesn't understand why I have nearly 400 of their albums. Yes, I think there probably is such a thing as a collecting gene. It's in the genes. Because I've collected various things during my lifetime. I must have, 200 Bob Dylan CDs? I've got a collection of Tori Amos, Led Zeppelin, Black Sabbath, David Bowie, Leonard Cohen, Led Zeppelin. So when I like something, I tend to go a bit overboard. Our original release promo one. Wow. That couldn't have been cheap. Sean asks who's going to the convention in September. I would like to have gone, but it's in an awkward place to get to. Now, I know that's not much of an excuse because David's coming over from Belgium from what I've read. But I don't have any transport, and that's my excuse. Tom, 2 kids make fun of my hobby, but other son loves Elvis. Can't win them all. Kurt, hello. Kurt comes in with a lightning flash. Patricia, what discotheque you must have. Hello, have you had a chance to listen to the analog production version of Elvis Is Back? Is there a notable improvement in sound quality? I have listened to it and I was very impressed with it. I haven't listened to, I've got the German one. The name escapes me. The German pressing as well. I haven't listened to that yet. Sean, get on a train. I have looked. I'd have to get a train to London and then a train from London to, was it Ipswich? I can't, somewhere in that area. Tom, my son and I are planning to go on a trip to Graceland. Oh, fantastic. I'm very much in 2 minds about going to Graceland again. Of course, I would love to go, but part of me thinks I'll be disappointed with what's happened to it. Speaker's Corner, that's it. I haven't listened to that one yet. Because I went in 1984. Mark, hello. 100% pure Elvis. Anyone who isn't aware of his channel, he's nearly at 2,000 subscribers. So if you're not subscribed, get over there and subscribe. You've been busy today, lots of videos. It is in Ipswich, right. Yeah, I did look at the trains. It's quite a journey. My wife always laughs when I say something like that. She says, no, quite a journey is driving from Orel, where she lived, to Murmansk, or something like that, which takes some ridiculous thing, 20 days or something stupid. So when I say somewhere in England's a long way away, she looks at me with this strange look on her face. Well, and that's what I'm afraid of. They've turned Graceland into a theme park. When I went, I think anyone who went in the few years after it opened was very lucky because it did still feel like Elvis's home. Hans Pedersen, hello. Yep. You saw my my video earlier. I was trying to think. Elvis met Crown Princess Margaret, who became Queen of Denmark. He also met, what was it? In my brain, I've got something about some princesses from somewhere like Thailand or don't know if anybody can remember. Mark, yes, you have to get there. It's a pilgrimage. hopefully all Elvis fans can make. I know a lot won't be able to afford it. It is a big commitment, but yeah, it's amazing to be there, to stand there, to breathe the air. I have very good memories of that trip. Tom, yes, I've got Good Times in Black Vinyl coming. I think I need 4 or 5 more. So maybe we'll both finish them at the same time. Robbie Detroit's Vinyl, hello. Sean, I always said I'd go back to Graceland for the 50th, but cost of travel from the UK is a real killer. And I believe you're right about those princesses. Thank you. Yeah, it's a big commitment to go across. But maybe when I retire, I'll get quite a nice lump sum. Maybe that's when I'll make the trip. That'll be another 5 years. Oh, Tom, Good Times in Black is the last one you need. Well, mine's on its way from Japan, of all places. Mark asks, how much money would you think you need to go to Graceland? Well, if you go with the fan club, which is probably the best way to go, because everything's organised for you. Really, it depends on how much you want to spend on souvenirs and records, because that's all I took money for. I actually took an extra suitcase, which I just put some odds and ends in, just to fill it with records to bring back. But I should imagine it's quite expensive now, because they've developed it. Back then, the area across from Graceland was small independent shops. I should imagine they've all been bought up. And probably not as cheap as they were. Oops. Sean thinks you should budget for 5,000. I can't really say what it... in my photo album of my trip, I have got the receipt for the trip, but I can't remember what it cost back then and how that would work out today. Of course, that trip included going to Tupelo and to Nashville as well. I think the problem with Graceland, from what I can see, is a bit like a problem I come across with regimental museums, which I deal with. They used to be run by men and women who'd served and they had a real interest. Now they're run by professional museum people. And whereas the old style museums. They had a passion for the subject and they cared about it. Museum professionals, they don't care if it's a medal, a gold record, or a turnip on display. Did anyone else get the I don't know if it's Piger or Piger. I don't speak Danish. They've sealed it with this label. So to get it open, I'm going to have to rip that label, which I don't really want to do. Just to see if it peels off. Now, of course, everything on it is in Danish, but I think the tracks are actually outtakes. Sean bought lots of books. Had to buy an extra rucksack. Tom's got it, but hasn't opened it. Annie, hello from Canada. Oh, Robbie says it's sold out already. Yeah, they only made 300. They're numbered on the back. Oops. Okay, everybody's got to save up and go to Graceland for the 50th anniversary, and we'll all meet there. Ah, Kurt says Memphis Mansion normally only make 300. I didn't know that. Trouble is, I can't save money because I keep buying records. David, hello. Happy Easter to you. Ah, Rob is in Augusta. Not too far from Memphis. Ah, David's here from Belgium. It's like the United Nations in here. Except we're a lot nicer to each other. Yeah, Sean says he's not sure about these small record runs, so they sell out. It is difficult, isn't it? Because, of course, the people who benefit from it most aren't the people who've made it originally, because the value shoots up. And then the resellers make the money. I think these records being made have got totally out of hand. I was looking recently on eBay, and there were several singles, coloured vinyl, nice picture sleeves, but singles. And one of them was £68 and the other two were £52. I'm sorry, as nice as they are, I'm not paying that for a fantasy single. So they are going to price themselves out eventually because people will just stop buying them. People cashing in. Well, and it's quite funny if you look, you'll find the same album being sold by 10 different people, and the prices will range from £10 up to £200 for exactly the same thing. You would think if you're going to put something up for sale and you don't know what it's worth, you'd do a search first and see what other people are asking. Kurt, another release Memphis Mansion is the Rocker Revisited. I saw that, yeah. My instinct wasn't to buy it straight away, but we'll see. Tom, some of the public domain releases are ridiculous. Yep. I can't see who's going to buy them at the prices they're asking now. David, have you watched the Blue Hawaii Blu-ray? I've got it, but the player I've got doesn't play it, which surprised me. I thought it would. So I've got to have a look at upgrading or doing something about it. So it's on the shelf. I haven't actually played it yet. And as I'm not an Elvis collector, but have his recordings from the 50s and come back from the late 60s. Your YouTube is a great low keyboard and informative. Thank you. Thank you. White Horses, hello. White Horses is on a budget. No Elvis purchases, oh dear. I actually got, when was it? The end of last week. I thought, I've spent too much money this month. I'm going to have to take it easy for the rest of this month. And then I looked on eBay and spent another £100. Kerry, hello. One would rather keep collecting the original pressings. You're right there. I have cut back on these new pressings. I'm selective now. So I'm hunting for foreign versions of the original albums. Sean's looking for the Summer of '61 FTD book. If anybody's got one for sale at a reasonable price. Patricia manages to budget each month. Somebody's going to have to teach me how to do that. I'm completely useless. David's got a secret that I always bring my wife. She keeps me in line. Oh dear. Mine would go nuts if she knew what I spend. But then she spends her money on things that she likes. So what's the one thing that everybody's looking for at the moment? Sean's buying the figures. I've managed to avoid buying the figures. Kerry's just received the 3 CD set Elvis in the 60s and the DVD of Elvis with Kurt Russell. It's a long time since I've seen the Kurt Russell film. I enjoyed it when I saw it. Perhaps we should form a help group. Elvis Anonymous. I remember my dad always used to look with a raised eyebrow when I would walk in with a record, because he didn't get collecting at all. But as I said to him, I'm not drinking the money away, I'm not smoking it away, gambling it away, I'm not doing drugs, I'm not hurting anybody. Mal's trying to cut down on the spending. We've all said that, haven't we? There you go, Patricia's made a statement. My name is Patricia and I'm an Elvis fan. An Elvis addict. Dean, hello. Last time I went to Graceland at Christmas 3 years ago, it was about $1,300 for a weekend. Wow. Of course, we all want to go when there's an anniversary, don't we? And that's probably when it's the most expensive. Sean, your picture looks really streaming, but yeah, just via YouTube. Yeah. David, I want the Australian CD release Elvis in Demand, exact replica of the album. Yeah, I've seen it for sale a couple of times. I never actually bought it. But we needed some nice, kind person in Australia. Gina, ask Gina. She'll look out for it. Kerry, my credit card company depends on me buying Elvis. They should give us special Elvis credit cards. Mal bought the new 69 vinyl and CD, but £300. Wow. I didn't get that. Tom reminds his wife about a friend's husband who has 3 sports cars. Exactly. I mean, what is life if you can't enjoy little things, you know? Why do we work hard and do what we do if we can't enjoy something? The credit card company is an Elvis fan. Sean's running out of space. Can't even consider clam bake. Sean needs some space. Now, I've got a shed at the end of my garden. And I could make it very nice for my wife. She would kill me. There you go, look, Sean's costing Mal money. That's the danger of watching these videos. We're a bit like the plant in Little Shop of Horrors. Feed me more Elvis. Now you say we need to be practical like David. I don't know if you saw his videos on building his Elvis room, which is looks very good. He's now building a third. Elvis Fan 64. Let's see some 50s Elvis records. Let's see what I can put my hands on from here. But if we really want to go 50s, I suppose we could. You can't get much more 50s than a 78. His master's voice. How do you think I feel? I'm left, you're right, she's gone. Never going to be played. So I've got, let's see, the earlier one. And of course the first type cover. Mystery Train and Love Me. I always found it funny. Of course, Nipper belonged to HMV. So when RCA records are imported officially into the UK, they had to put a sticker on Nipper because RCA didn't have the right to use Nipper in the UK. So I've got all the HMV Too Much Playing for Keeps. And then it goes into the, if I can find one. Oh, that's an American one. Too Much Playing for Keeps. It's difficult to get the American ones here because sending them through the post, it's never a good idea. Of course, RCA. I Need Your Love Tonight, A Fool Such as I. So by this time, 78s are starting to become rarer, harder to find. Danny B-side, hello. Danny's got loads of 78s. Have you got something to play them on? Tom's got a few scratched up 78s. Ah, you play them. I would be interested to play one. I would be interested to hear that. My original Sun 78. The sleeves reproduction. They would have been issued in plain brown sleeves. It's nice to see the cover. Same with the singles. They were Elvis Sun 78s. Elvis Sun singles were not released in Sun record sleeves. They were released in plain brown sleeves. And Sam actually used the money he made from selling Elvis's contract to have sleeves printed. So no original Elvis Sun record was released in a Sun sleeve, but they just look so good. And that's my 45, complete with push marks. And if you don't know about the push marks, you can look at my video. I would be interested to hear these on an old player. Where do we get to? Sean, what's the condition of your rock and roll number 2 like? The record itself's in good condition. The sleeve's not bad. It has got a slight tear on the front, but extremely difficult and expensive to find one that hasn't, because the paper was so flimsy, cheap. So they're just prone to damage. Alexander, hello. Thank you. I'm waiting for your next video. Tom, I've yet to pick up any original Sun records. Someday I'll do it. It's a great feeling when you get one in your hands. That was a boyhood dream. I don't know if you've seen my video when I got it. When I got them, just couldn't stop smiling. Back when I was about 12, my mum bought me a magazine with a US discography in it. And I promised myself one day I would have an Original Sun record. And the chap I originally agreed to buy the 45. And just before he was going to post it, he said, "Oh, I've just got 78 in." So I had to have it as well. And he packed them really well. They both arrived in good condition. Eleanor, hello. Patricia loves to see the old records and imagine you owned them before. Do you watch cheap beat up Elvis records? David, have you ever covered UK EP releases? I did, in an old video, going back quite a way. Yeah. Probably one of my earliest, in fact, I seem to remember. Oh, the pride of my collection of both mint copies of Rock and Roll number 1 and 2. Fantastic. Is that because you bought them when they came out? Danny B-side, what's your favourite records collection? I struggle with any question that begins what's your favourite. I struggle, because as my mind thinks of one, I then think, but what about Kerry, what is your favourite FTD box set? I haven't bought them all. I've been selective in what I've bought. The one that I think I really like, the King Creole, the recent King Creole set. I would like to get the Change of Habit book. Oh. This is my alarm to take my pills. Back porch preacher preaching at me. So excuse me a second while I... The old pill organisers comes to us all eventually. Oh, Patricia, I like it when the alarm goes off if I'm out and about and people can hear it. I've had people say, "Oh, what's that?" When I say it's Elvis, they're like surprised, really. I've always liked that song. They should do something with it. They can make a video, because they've got a video which they can do something with. It's a contemporary sounding song. It's got great lyrics, great guitar hook, and the general public don't really know it. They should try and do something with it. Alexander, several years back, I owned Sun 21045 and SPD 23 triple EP set. Wow. And had to sell them. Ouch. Sean, Boy from Tupelo is still the best FTD box set. Now, is there much difference between the big FTD set and the later released version? King Creole is great, and I love the in-person box. Well, there isn't a bad FTD set, is there? They're all really good. I can't wait for the Girl Happy vinyl. What I would like them to do is put out a Girl Happy album with the same track listing as the original album, but with all the new complete versions on. So we get the album as it should have been, because the complete songs are so much better. Kerry's ringtone is Blue Suede Shoes. I hope everybody's got an Elvis ringtone. So, Alexandra, have you added any interesting new things to the collection recently? Yeah, Danny, I think they should make it happen. Right. I've been trying to decide, do I need to get the Blue Hawaii sessions like that when I've got the big box? Now, logically, of course I don't. It would be stupid, wouldn't it? Every time I see it for sale, I'm tempted to buy it just to put it there. Kerry, any more Blue Hawaii pickups? What was my last? The French yellow label pressing and the Israeli pressing were the last ones I've picked up. Patricia, people in the States get more chance of finding early records. They do. Johnny from... now, he's got this the wrong way around, hasn't he? Prince Elvis Jackson channel. It should be Elvis. A king outranks a prince. Elvis should come first. So he recently went to a shop and picked up That's All Right Mama, Sun Original. By pure chance, he walked in and there it was. Alexandra, I have a box coming in with 30 US records. Wow. That's the way to do it, though. That's what I was doing with Japan. I would buy 10, 15 albums at the same time, cut down on costs. You have to be careful with import duties. I never got done for import duties, and then I bought that US pressing of the first album, which was an expensive buy, but I'm really pleased with it. And I got stung for £60 odd import duty. Chris, hello. I had the making of Blue Hawaii as a Christmas present. Wow. What a great thing to get as a present. But what you have to remember, Patricia, is we all live in our countries and we all have special releases that were only done in our countries, and we're able to find them a lot easier than somebody who's living abroad. For example, the New Zealand Christmas album. Now, if you live in New Zealand, you have a very good chance of finding one. It took me years and years to find one and to get it. So the same would be true everywhere. There's some great releases from Mexico, Brazil, Argentina I would love to have. Not easy to find. You guys have a lot of record fairs. We don't have many. If you want to see somebody with a lot of record fairs, look at David's channel. He seems to go to a record fair every week. Here where I live, there's 3 fairs a year in my town, record fairs. And they're always on a Saturday morning, which is one of the worst days of the week for me. So I struggle to get to them. I have to make arrangements ahead of time to get to them. Steve, HMV's the best of Elvis. Yep. So HMV's the best of Elvis has got to be the first Elvis compilation, hasn't it? I can't think of an earlier one. And of course, they only did that because they were losing the rights to publish Elvis's records in the UK, so they stuck it all on an album. Alexander, I'm stunned by your news in Christmas find. That was just pure good luck. I was searching online and a New Zealand record store had one for sale. And the price just looked too good to me. So I contacted them and said, what's wrong with it? And they said, nothing, it's its age, but it's perfectly fine. So I said, how much to ship it to the UK? They gave me a price. And I couldn't say no. That was a very anxious wait for that one to arrive. David went to Benny's 50s store yesterday and found an original potluck and 40 greatest hits in black vinyl. Not the usual pink. It's funny. A lot of people think the pink is the rare one. It's not. The pink vastly outsold the black vinyl. Patricia has one Sun record, Johnny Cashman. Right. Well, and you found that in Spain. Kerry, Steve, do you have any favourite record store in your area? We have 2 independent record stores here. Badlands is a good store. They stock music on vinyl. They do record store day. They don't have a huge Elvis selection, but you can go in and order stuff. But it used to be many years ago. It used to be where nobody's watching, are they? Where I went to buy bootlegs. And the other one is a genuine second-hand record store. It only opens 3 days of the week. But I've picked up some nice Elvis stuff from there, some nice HMV singles, and some other bits and pieces. David, have you got Blue Hawaii FTD vinyl? I have. Thankfully, when the FTD label first started, it was sold through the Elvis fan club. So when it started, I started buying them. And of course, that was the first one. And I only stopped buying them when I moved to Finland for 3 years. So there's this gap in my collection, which I'm probably never going to fill because they're too expensive. And I started buying them again when I came back. Kicked myself. I should have just said to my parents, look, just keep getting these and I'll pay you the money. But you don't think of it then. Patricia, I always prefer black vinyl. Now, they say that black vinyl is a lot quieter than coloured vinyl. Whether that's still true, I don't know. Although, of course, black vinyl is coloured because it's not naturally black. Yes, in Barcelona. Not sure what you're answering there. Of course, Barcelona is where Manuel comes from, or came from. Fawlty Towers. Annie, do you know that Trump chose an Elvis song for his inauguration? And he used to play them at his what do you call them? Rallies. Yeah, he has said he's an Elvis fan. And in fact, whatever anybody thinks of Trump, he's the US president that gave Elvis a posthumous, what do they call it? The Presidential Medal. Forget its name now, but he was the one who awarded it. Danny, I've got the original 2003 FTD of Girl Happy. Oh, the CD. I never got any of those CDs of the original albums. I've avoided them. Mal, I believe the new FTD Girl Happy vinyl has been delayed. Of course it has. They're about as on time as British Rail. Back when we had British Rail. Tom, MRS vinyl's delayed. I've lost track with MRS. I think I'm missing a few now. David, Medal of Freedom, yep. Chris Chapman, waiting for my Houston Astrodome 74 to arrive. Is that the vinyl version then? Because I've seen people with the CD. I don't think I've seen anybody with the vinyl version, so I assume that's what you're talking about. Steve, often disappointing how noisy RCA vinyl is. You'd think by now RCA could get it right. Eleanor, like always. Sean, Trump also thinks he looks like Elvis. Yeah. I suppose if you screw your eyes up so they're just about closed, he might look like Elvis. Presidential Medal of Freedom, that's the one. Oh, CD, Chris. I've seen people with it. I think Mark went and bought it in HMV. Where are you? Where are you located? Mel, new MRS CDs delivered today. Ah, well, there you go. Maybe they're on the way then. But I'm sure somebody said they went into HMV and bought it. Cornwall, the far end of the world. Probably the pirates intercepted it. My wife loves Cornwall. It's just a shame it's such a difficult place to get to. I do like the MRS stuff, it's always good. But I liked it when FTD did single discs. They were affordable then. These multi-disc packages, they're just pricing me out. Oops. Just remember to put these back out the way. Mustn't leave these standing on the floor. Oh, where's This is a problem. I get things out, I don't put them back. And then one day I'll be looking for it and won't be able to find it. Oh, somebody asked what the A meant on these promos. Of course, it just means A-side. So that's the ones I did today. So I still haven't put back all my King Creoles from when I did the video. Oh, there's one for Sean here. You mentioned this once. This is Spanish promo. Steamroller Blues on one side, and David Bowie, Let's Spend the Night Together on the other side. I suppose I should put that there. So I must get around to putting those back. There's a few Elvis records also released on the Pear label. I suppose it's a bit like the Camden label, a specialist label. I think I got 3 or 4 of them now. I did wonder if Double Dynamite was going to be the same as the Camden Double Dynamite Volume 1 and 2. They're not. Different track listing. And these all need to be put away. I bought this Elvis Now yellow vinyl off eBay. Very excited. When it arrived, I went to put it away and already had it. So now, before I get excited and order it, and one of these, I have to look at my list. So at some point, I'll come up with something and give that one away when I can think of some way to do it. Where did I get to? Kerry, wish FTD would do what Amherst are doing. Amherst Camden, cheaper releases. Yep. Alexandra, the still any record you're on the hunt for? Oh, I've got a long, long list of records I would like to get. Robert Celia moment. Yep. Danny, you'll have to do a quiz. David, wonder if FTD would compile a Camden release set. That would be an interesting idea. Tom, I have a few albums that I have 2 or 3 copies of due to not realising. Yeah, I've got a little section down here, which I think's got 6 in at the moment, where I've either bought it, not really realising I've already had it, but a couple of them I bought a little collection and there were 2 that I already had. So I haven't decided what to do with those yet. It'd be good if there was some young person just started collecting that I could give them to, but you can't go approaching young people these days. You get a knock on the door. Danny, a 5 question for that prize. Sean, surely Camden did enough compilations of their own compilations. This is true. Yep. They certainly did. They milked that one. I see there's even 8 tracks of the Camden albums. Let's see if I can move this without knocking everything over. I showed these on my cassette video, but I've never seen them. When I bought them, it's the only time I've ever seen them. I didn't know they existed. So it's 3 original light blue label Camden albums in a set. Volume 1 and Volume 2. But I've never seen them since either. Chris, you have a very impressive collection. Thank you. We've all got an impressive collection, though. We tend not to appreciate our own collections because we know it and we're surrounded by it. But we've all got things that other people would love to have. I'm always intrigued when Alexander does his videos and you see those racks full of records. What's hiding in there? An officer, he approached me and asked me if I wanted to see his Elvis collection. An FTD movie bonus songs album would be good. Yeah, there's a lot of themes because eventually they'll run out of the original albums. So there are themes that they could do. Harold, hello. Rob, FTD proudly announced the deluxe I Got Lucky box set. Oh, the ultimate nightmare for an FTD multi-disc box set would be having fun with Elvis on stage. I've already worked it out. They take Aloha from Hawaii, Elvis in person, Madison Square Garden, live in Memphis, Elvis in concert. They take all the music off and then they re-release what's left. Oh, Patricia, I've got to be careful. Trick or treat. Eleanor, what country are they from? They're UK. Those cassettes. Made in the UK. I don't know if any other country had them. Harold, I just got in. What did you show? Oh, wonderful things. Tutankhamun's treasures. The only new thing I showed, where did I put it? I don't know where I put it now. Was the Double Dynamite RCA pair label Double Dynamite, which came today. Sean, they're great as much as we love to chuckle at Camden. Oh, Camdens have a massively important place in the Elvis story. I'm sure that everybody out there that's around my age, the Camdens were really what got them going. And what I always remember back about them, because I was a new fan, didn't look down on them at all. Didn't see them as cheap compilations. They were Elvis records. And when I got them home and played them, I loved them. They're fantastic songs. I didn't even know that some of them were from movies. It's only later when people get a bit sniffy about them, but they were a great idea. And it's shocking when you think that they use Camden releases to put out some unreleased tracks. David, exactly. Camdens were the ones we could afford. I could either get a Camden or I'd have to save up to buy a regular release. Rob Elvis Talk Shite, the Ultimate Collection. Mark, hello. Tom loves the Camdens. $2. I remember the Camdens in the UK going to Woolworths, 99p on a spinner rack. And my mum would say, pick which one you want. Harold, I want to get the Christmas CD you got from Finland. I had to buy it from Finland. There are some more Finnish CDs that I want to get. So if I can find somebody selling them, I'll see if they've got another copy of that Christmas one. And I'll get it for you if they have. Can you show those cassettes? Well, the Camden ones, I just... So there you go. 3 cassettes. So the track listings inside the cover as well. So Separate Ways, Easy Come, Easy Go, US Mail. And the cassettes are exactly the same as they were released at the time in the UK, with light blue labels. So I do have the single cassettes as well. I can see one from here, if I can reach it. Oh, I can see 2 from here. So that's how they were released in the UK. Oops. Light blue labels. So they've stuck 3 in a box and put out 2 volumes. But other than these 2, when I bought them, I've never seen them. So can't be many of them done. Although there must have been, surely. They must have flooded the market, so where they've all gone, I don't know. Sean, thanks for coming. Look forward to the next video. David, Separate Ways was awesome. Absolutely was. Why was Old Shep on there? Old Shep never made sense when you look at the other tracks, but the other tracks just fantastic. Kerry, have you ever paid more for postage than the Elvis item you ordered? I'm not sure. It could well have happened. See, this is what I was saying before with Patricia about we all live in countries that had their own releases. So to us, they're easier to get. There have been some things in America, RCA special products, which in America are very cheap because they're very plentiful. But if a UK seller has one, they're like 5 times more expensive because they're hard to find here. So I have bought some RCA special products albums from America which were cheap. So yeah, I must have paid more for the postage, but it was worth it because to buy the same album in the UK was 4 or 5 times more expensive. So yeah, that's how it can happen. Kurt, there were copies of the finished Christmas CD on Discogs. All right. So you can get it. What I would like to do is get on a plane, go to Finland and pick one up. I haven't been back to Finland since, what? It's got to be 12 years. And I used to go, I lived there for 3 years and I used to go back a couple of times a year every year. But it's been a while. David, what now? What next? Where to? Yeah, sentimental me. Harold, old ship was only because it's about separation between a boy and his dog. I guess so, yeah. Yeah. I still have the first copy of Separate Ways that my mum bought me. But the top and the bottom are all held together with sellotape. I have bought several others since, but yeah, there's some records that just hold so many memories that it doesn't matter what happens to them. I'm not going to get rid of them. Same with my copy of Promised Land album. That'll always be very special to me. Danny, I got Separate Ways US pressing with bonus photograph. Right, I've got the USA pressing, but not with a photograph. There's a few I still don't have with the photographs. King Creole's the one that bugs me. Mark, when you buy a rare record from abroad for the different cover, do you mind too much about the condition? No, I'm not hung up on condition. So long as it's intact, and there's not graffiti all over it. But I don't mind creases. I don't mind a little tear on the edge. Some things are just so hard to find that I'll take it. I was in the process of buying what was it? The Argentinian King Creole, Melodia Siniestra, something like that. Sinister Melody. Very strange looking cover. It's got a very strange look to it. And I'd paid for it. We'd agreed the price. I'd paid for it. And the chap who was selling it, his mum was taken ill. Various things happened, and in the end he came back to me and said, I'm sorry, I'm not going to be able to do this, and he just gave me my money back. So and that cover wasn't perfect, but I was very disappointed, but hopefully his mum's okay. And I totally understand, your mum comes first, whatever happens. Do you have the CD set Young Man with the Big Beat? When people ask me these things, my brain, I think I have. Yeah. There. In fact, it's still sealed. I never opened it. Danny's got the King Creole bonus photo. Nice. David, wasn't old Shep who won singing in a competition and won $4? Yep. Yeah, I think that must have been his first public performance that we're aware of. Danny, you need to have a share live screen. I was trying to look how to do that. I have got StreamYard, though I've not used it. I'll have to look into that. Tom, trying to find South American pressings in good shape is tough. It is. I've been lucky. I've got quite a few South American. They're very, they've got their own particular style to them. And I like the fact they use their Spanish language. Or Brazilian, which I don't think is exactly Spanish, is it? I'm not sure. They use their own language. I like that. It's always shocked me that the French didn't do that, because the French are normally quite snooty about the French language. And it's always surprised me that they didn't put the titles in French. on their albums. Trisha, same with Spanish ones. Materials back then were cheap and it's so tough to find early ones in nice condition. Yep. Danny, I will. Once I work out how to do it, we'll sort something out. Tom, Portuguese in Brazil. Right. Yeah, I was looking recently at the Brazilian Kissing Cousins. It's got a very strange looking title. So I would like to find one of those. Portuguese. I gotta remember, the Brazilians speak Portuguese. Harold, 1945, we sang Old Shep and came in 5th. I wonder what happened to the person that came first. Who was this person? And what did they do? Baboon. Oh dear. Tom, they became an Elvis impersonator. I wonder if they went around for the rest of their life boasting that they beat Elvis in a talent competition. Tony, hello. Been going, how long been going? About an hour and a half. Johnny Burnett. Whoever came 1 to 4 should have started a band. Oh dear. My updated membership card for the Elvis Fan Club of Great Britain. I've still got my original one somewhere. And my original badge. I see they're doing a new version of the badge. If anybody's a member. Mark, I'm going round some guy's house next Thursday who's been to Graceland 4 times, buying a lot of his collection. Wow. Good luck with that. Hopefully there's some nice stuff amongst it. All the singers in the world, nobody comes close to Elvis. This is absolutely true. I was thinking about it recently. Because he's so famous and so big and so everywhere, people have forgotten just how damn good he was. They sort of take it for granted, Elvis, you know, whatever. But he got to be that because he was so damn good. And it was natural. Nobody taught him to do what he did. He had no singing training. And he came up with the music himself, the production in the studio. I read recently an unpublished piece written by a woman who was present at one of his recording sessions in 1957. Very interesting. And he was totally in charge with the sound engineers, the backup singers, the musicians. He was involved in every aspect, and he was saying, do this, change this, play it like this. You know, this doesn't feel right, I want it like this. And that's why he kept going take after take after take, because he wanted on record what he had in his head. Harold, can you show the Christmas Finland CD again? Oh, I can. Joulu tunnelmissa, which means in the Christmas spirit. And VL Musiikki is the company that, and they've produced other themed Elvis CDs, which is what I'm going to try and get. Never actually looked to see if there's anything inside the booklet. Probably not, but we'll have a look. Oh, other CDs they do, including another Elvis one in the centre. It's funny, all the time I lived there, I never saw any Elvis made in Finland. Tony, thank you. And Tony's still got his original badge from the 70s. I've still got mine. They are doing an updated version of it. Johnny Burnett went to the same school as Elvis. Really? Oh. Patricia, that always gets me. People not realising the singer he was. No, they don't take him seriously. Man, I always remember seeing Elvis in GI Blues in 1960. Couldn't take my eyes off him. Amazing. Yeah. That's something a lot of us missed out on, is seeing Elvis on the big screen. When I was looking back through newspapers for TV, I was looking up when a particular thing was on television in a newspaper archive, and I noticed back in the before Elvis died in the 70s, 60s, Elvis movies were regularly on local cinemas. Now, they wouldn't show them if people weren't going. Alexander, that's the beauty of some complete session FTDs. You can hear Elvis in charge producing his songs. Exactly, yeah. The process. We're so lucky that they kept all those tapes. And it's a tragedy, the ones that they've lost. Though, as with the Girl Happy sessions, they are still finding things. And of course, the thing we all want them to find, and it's driving me mad that they haven't got it yet, is We Had It All from the Stax session, because we know absolutely that Elvis did record a version of it. Musicians who were present in the room have said, yes, we played on it, he recorded it. Tom Murray, I saw Loving You on a big screen. And this is Elvis. Yeah. Loving You songs are great, young and full of life. Yep. It's such a shame that there's this problem with the copyright on Loving You. That they haven't really exploited it to its fullest extent. They need to sort these things out. Rob, when I was on Graceland tour last year, there was an older American guy. He said he had seen Elvis in concert in 70, 71 and 76, and he attended the funeral. Wow. Of course, the sad thing is that a lot of these people now are going to be the generations that are dying off. I always remember when I was a kid, It was the World War I veterans were the old guys who were slowly dying away, including my granddad. Now it's World War II. As time moves on, and eventually, it's horrible to think, eventually there won't be anybody alive who actually saw Elvis in concert. But the amazing thing is, all this footage of concerts that's appeared over the recent years, I'm just astonished at the quality of some of it. There's some superb footage out there, and you can see a lot of it on YouTube. I was amazed to see the footage of a '69 Vegas show, Elvis in Black. And why the hell didn't they professionally film his comeback in Vegas? Danny Elvis said, "Don't put that out until 20 years after I'm dead." Yep, that's the story. Well, we've long past 20 years. Whoever's got it needs to do something with it. David, I once saw Spin Out on the big screen. Wow. I'd love to see some of those movies in the cinema. I'm surprised cinemas don't do some retrospectives. We used to have a cinema in town that did quite a lot of retrospective stuff. I remember going to one which was Greta Garbo. They showed 3 Garbo films. Tom saw Elvis in '75. Wow. Where was that? Is there a recording of the concert? Elvis at the drive-in. Watched some excellent footage from Memphis '74 recently, posted on YouTube. Yeah, now and then I have a look. I'll have a look. There's some great footage. I watched one recently, 1971. Something I noticed, which I'd never thought of. I was watching one concert, which I think was from '71. And you have to remember this whenever you see colour photographs. He came out in what looked like a white light-coloured jumpsuit. And then partway through the show, it looked blue. And then a bit further on, it looked a sort of dark mauve colour. And of course, the lighting affected how it appears. And I'd never thought of that. Tom, Nassau Coliseum. Oh, so there is a recording of it. Fantastic. I assume Nassau Coliseum still exists. It's sad to see occasionally you see one of these old places being torn down where Elvis performed. Patricia, I think that sometimes Elvis would have liked them to be released, maybe, but on the other hand, I like to listen to the sessions. I learned so much from them. I think Elvis would have been amazed at what's happened. When you think about it, apart from maybe the Beatles, is there anyone else that people would pay not insignificant sums of money to listen to their sessions, complete sessions? Why couldn't Elvis have been like Bruce Springsteen? I don't know if you saw this. I have quite a lot of Bruce Springsteen stuff because I like him as a songwriter and a live performer. Over the years, he'd written a lot of material and recorded a lot of material that he'd never used. He's about to release 7 brand new studio albums that have been recorded since 1980 something. Why couldn't Elvis have had a huge catalogue of unreleased material? Why didn't he have a proper studio at Graceland that he could have just gone into any time and if only. Bob Dylan's another one that would write 30 songs to release a 10-track album. It's a shame that Elvis and Dylan didn't get together. What might have come out of that? One of my little fantasies that I like to imagine is that Elvis had got to hear Dylan's 3 gospel albums and then recorded his own album of the best tracks from the 3. I would love to have heard him sing some of those songs. Mark, I listened to the Today album yesterday and forgot how much. Yeah, it's not right that Elvis's 70s albums are looked down upon, you know, the sort of mid and later ones, because they're actually really good. Today, Promised Land, Good Times, really good albums. They're being judged against his earlier work, but of course he wasn't the same artist. I think they're great albums. Alexander, in his lifetime, always delivered 3 albums a year. From now, it's pure wealth. But in artistic sense, complete madness. Absolutely, yeah. You think some artists will do an album every 5 years. This requirement to do these albums and singles, which I think was a massive mistake. Those early albums not having the singles on was a huge mistake. I was look at it, Elvis is Back. What a fantastic album, one of the great rock and roll albums. Did not sell anywhere near as many copies as Blue Hawaii. All right, Blue Hawaii had a film promoting it. But if you had the average record buyer going into the shops, looked at Elvis's Back, wouldn't recognise any of the tracks, looked at Blue Hawaii, oh, I've heard Rockahula Baby, I've heard Count Out Falling in Love, I know a Hawaiian Wedding Song. I'm sure his albums would have sold more. As massive as they were, they would have sold more if they'd have had the singles on. Rob, Elvis was to record a session with Dylan and George Harrison. Yeah, I don't know if Elvis did show up. I've not actually got to the bottom of that. Now, it's said that Dylan was intimidated, that he felt intimidated to be in the same studio as Elvis, which I like. He was a massive Elvis, he still is a massive Elvis fan. I did a video on it, if anybody hasn't seen it, Elvis and Dylan. Tony, just imagine Elvis at the Live Aid concert in '85. Yeah, that's difficult because 85. I mean, to me, he'd be almost too big to do it. He'd be a lot older by then, of course. It's just a damn shame he didn't come sooner. But, I've been trying to find an interview I saw once with Elvis's tour manager, gave an interview that I remember. I can't find it. And he confirmed that at the end of the tour that Elvis was about to start, he was to fly to London to sign the deal for a venue for Elvis to perform in London in 78. Priscilla confirmed that Elvis had told her that. The chap who designed Elvis's jumpsuits confirmed that Elvis had said, I need something special for London. He was working on an idea, but actually ended up being worn by Michael Jackson. So it's been confirmed from various sources that he was planning to perform in London in 78. Steve went to see the Gypsy written about Elvis. Yes, it was. Yeah. Dylan once said it wasn't, but what you have to be aware of with Dylan is part of his character is to change stories. He was quite well known for it. But he has said it was, and when you read the lyrics, I mean, it's Elvis. It can't be anybody else. He even, he said, well, well, well. So yeah, it is about Elvis. Harold, Elvis wanted to be at Woodstock or one of the other shows that time, the Colonel wouldn't let him. He should have stood up to the Colonel. I don't understand why he had such a hold over him. I think it might sound strange to say it, but you get the impression that Elvis didn't have much self-confidence as a performer, which is shocking. Elvis didn't need the Colonel needed Elvis. Elvis was invited to do a Royal Variety performance as well. 65, 66, something like that. There's so many what ifs. Harold, do you believe the Colonel got him where he was? Yeah. But I think whoever had managed Elvis, what was about to happen was going to happen. And of course, Gladys didn't like or trust the Colonel at all. Mrs. Presley knew from the beginning he was a creep. Yeah. And he was a low-level shyster. That was his background. The Colonel held the purse strings and bullying him. There's an interview with, I think it's Lamar, no, is it Lamar Fike? I think, who says that he got called to the Colonel's office and was told that Elvis had died. And he grabbed the Colonel by the lapels and said something like, "You finally killed him." and then said, I'm going to leave before I do something I'll regret. Who's sending me messages? Now, back earlier on at the beginning of this stream, I asked about this new Priscilla book. Was anyone aware of this American airman who'd written a book that Priscilla sued him over? Has anybody heard about that? Harold, did you get the new Memphis recording service? I haven't. No, I'm a bit behind on some of the stuff. Alexander, I've got mixed feelings about Elvis performing abroad. Elvis is in no shape to take off the shows to wow the crowds. Yeah. They say that he was in this attitude of, I'm going to show them. Whenever Elvis had a challenge in his life, he soared way above it. So I like to think that he would have got himself in shape. But of course, his health just wasn't up to it. Patricia, thank you for coming. Oh dear. So I'm beginning to think I imagined this book. I'm going to have to look it up now. What was this chap's name? Curry Grant. Has anybody heard of Curry Grant? Priscilla sued him for $10 million. He won. She won a default judgment, but the judge only awarded $75,000, so it's not much of a victory. Curry Grant had written a book that Priscilla didn't want published. Apparently, he was an airman in Germany, and he'd met Elvis. And he tells a very different version of how Priscilla met Elvis. Basically, that Priscilla was known for sleeping around, and she deliberately set out to get to meet Elvis. and Priscilla basically silenced him. It does make you wonder. Because I've always thought there was something not quite right about her, and I do not like the way she's behaved since Elvis died, taking the Presley name back and things like that. Does make you wonder. David, yes, he introduced Priscilla, but he says that she'd been hanging around, angling to get an invite. That she'd set out to meet Elvis, and he says that she was known for sleeping around even then at that age. So a very different version of the story. Does make you wonder. Adrian, hello. What EP will we be reviewing next? How long have we been going now? Nearly 2 hours. David, I had an Elvis sandwich the other week, and I have to say it was bloody tasty. Peanut butter, bacon, banana, and strawberry jam. It does sound good, but my cardiologist would go nuts if I was to eat that. I do think all this about Elvis's eating has been totally overblown. Lots and lots of people eat fast food and rich food. And Alexander, thanks for coming. Yeah, we can arrange something. Rummage through the racks. Rack rummaging. Yeah, I think all this about Elvis being fat has been totally overblown. He was bloated. If you're fat, you're fat. Look at pictures of Elvis in 77, sideways on. He's bloated, head, torso. The moment you get to his waist, he looks like he did in 70. He's slim. That's not fat. He's ill. He was ill. He was bloated. Something was definitely not right. David, I think Priscilla was a little minx that would do anything with a chocolate bar. Yep, that's the impression you get. And I think she still is. I think she's very conniving and very crafty, the way she handles things. She should not be calling herself Priscilla Presley. In the divorce agreement, she could not use the Presley name. And she was with the chap whose name I forget, who she had a son with. She was with him for many, many more years than she was with Elvis. So she is now a professional widow, to use a Tori Amos song title. She's a professional widow. Steve, will you be doing a follow-up to the Sun 56 into 56? I did actually start doing the research for a 56, and then I got sidetracked by the King Creole video. So I do hope to go back to it and do the 56 sessions. Harold, do you have Elvis Love Me Tender cassette from 1987? If it's not, no, I probably don't, because I was concentrating on the original RCA UK orange label cassettes. So probably not. It doesn't ring any bells. Adrian, my next review will be a new vinyl called Elvis Sings, Sid Tepper and Royce Bennett. Is that the VPI release? Tom, even in 75 he looked fine. Yeah, he did. You can even find pictures of him in early 77 where he doesn't look bad. But then you can notice that from one show to the next show, his appearance can completely change. So it was fluid retention, which is a sign of heart trouble. It all adds up, and they just called him fat. The tabloids were merciless, of course. I'm sure everybody that was in the UK remembers the Sun headline, Fat and 40. Adrian, it's called Just for Old Time's Sake. Right. I don't have it, but I should get it because I've got the other songwriter albums. But I don't have it yet, so I'll be interested to see what you think of it. I've spent far too much money. Oh dear. I came across a place selling these miniature guitars. I could spend a fortune. That's Scotty Moore's. That is Chet Atkins, and that's 68 special. The one I want, they'd sold out of, and that's the way it is guitar with Elvis along the fretboard. So I'm hoping they'll get some more in stock. They're very well made. Tom, I like the songwriter albums. I do too. You've got the CDs and that. I'd be interested to hear this Record Store Day release, Doc Pomus, his original promos for songs he submitted to Elvis. Be interested to hear that. Has anybody got it? Somebody on the Elvis Collectors Forum had heard it, and they said something like, it just shows how good Elvis was at reinterpreting a song. You know, he turns it into something far superior to what it originally was. It's a limited edition 1500, so I better not wait too long then. Otherwise the price will start creeping up. Everything comes at once. I've nearly finished the Fridge Magnet albums. I've got a few more to get. I like them. Adrian, £27. That's not bad. I better not leave it too long then, because that'll suddenly turn into £57. Harold Glenn Campbell sang demos for Elvis. Yes, he did. Yeah, I think there's an album, isn't there, of his demos. It's quite an interesting subject. Maybe it deserves a video, because I think it really highlights just how much Elvis changed these songs. I laugh. You still occasionally hear this. Oh, Elvis stole Hound Dog from Big Mama Thornton. Now, anybody that says that is just confirming to me that they are morons, that they haven't done any research at all, because it's very, very easy to completely disprove that ridiculous concept. But the thing I've always found interesting about it is that I can't remember if it was Lieber or Stoller said that the first time he heard Elvis's version of Hound Dog on the radio, he said, I didn't even recognise it as our song. Elvis had completely changed it. So it'd be interesting to hear demos to see how different they are to what Elvis actually came up with. Oh, better not lose that. Thank you, Adrian. I find it hard to find time to sit down and set everything up because I can't leave everything set up. So I do find it hard to get the time to set everything up, sit down, sort out what I'm going to do. I would like to do them more often, but when I retire, I can just sit here all day, make videos, bore everybody to death. I have to put those cassettes back in the right place, otherwise I'll forget where they are. I'm hopeless at putting things back and then I can never find them. Oops. Tom's going to retire in the fall. It's a strange thing because I look forward to retiring, but then it means you're getting old. It's a bit of a double-edged sword, isn't it? But just gets to the stage where I'm just completely knackered all the time. So I'm looking forward to it. David, you won't bore me. I could easily bore you. My wife says, you're boring. Mark, how far are you from running out of racking in your room? I can squeeze a few more in the current space. I have to rearrange some stuff back there to free up a bit more room. I could probably get I reckon I could get another 50 albums in. I've got some dotted around I haven't filed yet in my wonderful filing system. But I have already been thinking about moving some stuff this side. There's a wardrobe here. So I have been thinking about moving it to get some more racking in there. My CD racks are pretty much jammed up now, and I'm starting to stack them up, just piles on top. Oh, I can hear the cat trying to get in. The cat rules the house now. Hello, where you been? Now that the weather's nice, she spends a lot of the day outside. David, museum quality collection, are they insured and catalogued? I've tried to catalogue them. They're not insured. What? Come here. No, I just have to trust to the gods that nothing happens. Johnson, get your tail out of the way. Come on. Come on. Jody Duggan, thank you. I'm sure everybody's got a nice collection. We don't think about what we've got because we're used to it. We think about what everybody else has got. But I bet you've all got something that I would really like. I think Adrian's opening up another branch of the Elvis Shop London. I have quite a laugh with the postman. We have a regular postman, and he'll come up with and he'll have like 5 or 6 albums and various things. Yeah, you've won the lottery again. You've hit the jackpot. He knows what's in there because I told him once, because he asked, what do you keep getting? Tom, I can comfortably fit about 200 more albums. I'm sure you can find room for more. Robert from the Netherlands, another one from the Netherlands. How's your record collecting organised? By year, by country, by label? I'm not that organised. What I've tried to do very badly is up here, the 50s, and coming down the 70s. Don't ask me why. Film soundtracks, Camdens and compilations, live, gospel and Christmas, assorted. Box sets are up there and here. There's singles here and singles down the bottom here. And various, all my music on vinyls are here. So sort of themed areas, but I'm pretty hopeless at keeping it organised. Adrian, I'm on a commission. I mean, how does everybody else organise their collections? It's not as easy as you might think. Because, of course, if you've got one of each, you can do it chronologically, makes sense. But when you're an idiot like me and you've got 45 copies of Blue Hawaii and 20 odd copies of Elvis is Back, how do you sort those? So I just have like clumps. So all my Blue Hawaiis are here. Fun Acapulcos and various things. I've tried to put the films in order, but even that goes wrong for no obvious reason. So I can sometimes spend quite a bit of time trying to find one particular album. But I did recently go through as much as I could trying to put things back because things just get put in the wrong place. So all my FTDs are up here. All my 78s are here. I got 12-inch singles all together. My CDs are a complete mess. They're just all piled in. I did start out with them in some kind of order, but it very quickly went wrong. I suppose really I should take them all out and redo them. I have to be very careful when buying CDs to make sure I haven't already got it. I find that far more difficult with the albums, and I get it wrong with the albums sometimes. Tom, I used to do it by label, but I consolidated them so that each album is together. Any outliers are still by label. So whatever works for us, isn't it? we get used to the way we do things. My big problem is getting things out and not putting them back. So I made my King Creole video, and all my King Creole singles and EPs are still in a pile here, whereas I should put them all back where they came from, which I will do one day, eventually, when I get round to it. I just found my very dusty copy of Sean Shaver's book, The Life of Elvis Presley. I see online somebody wants £75 for a copy. It's a good book. It needs dusting. You're costing me money. I just ordered my first set of magnets. I like them. Well, they've done all the albums. They've even done some of the Camdens. There are a couple I've noticed they don't have. They don't seem to have That's the Way It Is, which is an odd omission. What was the other one? There was another one that they didn't have. Can't remember. But I've still got a few more to buy. Oops. But we all cost each other money, don't we? We see things like Adrian will show something, and I think, oh, I like that. I mean, the King Creole FTD box set, I wasn't going to get it because of the expense. And people started showing them, and I thought, oh, that's really good. I really like it, so I had to get it. That's probably what's going to happen with this Clambake set. I mean, Clambake. A box set of Clambake. Get your head round it. And I said, no, I'm not going to buy it. I'm not going to buy it. And I keep looking at it, and I know that the first time I see somebody showing it, I'm going to want it. Was it Oscar Wilde? I can resist anything except temptation. No, I need that. Yeah. Last time I was in London, I thought about arranging to go to the Elvis shop London, and I thought, no, I can't, because I'll walk in there with my credit card, and by the time I leave, I'll be getting divorced. So I had to stay away. I can't risk it. Every time I look at their website, you know, sort of think, oh, I want that. Oh, I want that. I want that. Oh, I'd like that. I want that. I want... No. I once went through and put into my basket the things I'd like to buy. I think I got up to about £20,000 and I took them all out again. A little fantasy moment. Kurt, don't be regretful. I've already got a pre-order for the Clambake set. Well done. It does look really nice. I do like these in-depth looks at films. I really want to get the Change of Habit book. But unfortunately, it's on a long list of things I really want to get. I still have to get the vinyl box for Live in Las Vegas. It's the only one of the vinyl boxes I don't have. And I kicked myself because I could have bought one for 80 quid. And I put it off, and of course it went. And if anybody else wants to kick me, they can do it, because I deserve it. Dean, anything to do with his movies, I have no problem leaving on the shelf. It just looks so good, though, when you see it. When are we going to get the harem holiday sessions? Mm. 2 hours 20. I shall have to start thinking about winding up soon. What's the matter? Even the cat's complaining. Dean, did you get the Elvis Plantation box? No, I didn't. No, it looks nice, but I just think it was too expensive for what was in it. Tom Clambake was my first album. 9 years old. And we all enjoyed it at 9 years old. I have that set on order. There's a lot of snootiness about Elvis's films. They were of their time. That was a genre that was around. He wasn't the only pop star making films like that. But when you look at the films made by the other pop stars, they're inferior. Elvis's are the best of the bunch. So it's not really fair the way they're judged. They should be judged, for when they were made and the genre they were made in. He wasn't doing Shakespeare. I would like to see a Paradise Hawaiian style sessions set because he seemed to have a lot of fun recording those songs. His movies were all over the US TV in the 70s. Yep, same here, BBC. Especially during the August school holidays in the UK. It'd be like every morning, 2 Elvis films. And you'd have Saturday double bills. And I wasn't the only one who would watch them in our house. My sister and brother, not fans, but they would watch the Elvis film. David's off. Thanks for popping in. Have a great Easter. I shall have to be going soon. It's 2 hours and 23 minutes we've been going, so we'll go another 7 minutes, and then I shall have to go get something to eat. That's probably what the cat's complaining about, not being fed. Tom, some stations edited them down to fit 90 minutes with commercials. Well, one of the good things with the BBC is there's no commercials. So we didn't have to worry about that. I don't remember our independent television who have commercials ever showing an Elvis film. It was always the BBC. Maybe they'd had some agreement, I don't know. Mark, have you ever bought a 78 from eBay and it turned up broken? No, I've been really lucky. All the 78s I've bought, even from America, have come... there's one particular chap on eBay. What's the name? Something like Baba... Blah, blah, blah. And he's a specialist. That's what he sells. He's got lots of very rare, like promo 78s for Elvis and foreign 78s. And his packaging is basically 2 great big blocks of polystyrene with a 78 in the center of it. So you get this package like this, and in it's a 78. So I've never had one break. Adrian's off. Thanks for popping in. I'll look out for your next video. So 5 minutes and I shall be going off again. Now, the Elvis Forum, if ever any of you watched that, we are planning to go live to Monday. I think it's Monday. Let me check. We are planning to do a live stream. Just general chat. Monday, 1 PM UK time. So I shall be on that with Adam. I'm not sure if anybody else is going to show up. Trying to remember which LP You Don't Know Me was on before I heard it on Clambake. Was it on a Camden album? You Don't Know? I think it was, yeah. You Don't Know. God, you got my brain whizzing now. Yeah, I'm sure it was, because yeah. I'd have to look, but I'm sure you're right. So, in 3 weeks, I was at the Netherlands where they will show a colorized version of King Creole. Now, these colorized versions now, they're pretty good. Somebody did on YouTube, it's colorized high definition. Some extracts, looks really good. So, as you can hear, the cat is insisting that she gets fed. So thanks to everyone for showing up. I enjoyed it. I say it every time, I try not to leave it so long between live chats. Hopefully my health will hold up. I've finally got my hospital appointment in July, mid-July, so hopefully they can finally sort this out. So thank you for coming along, and have a great Easter. Keep spending that money, and hopefully see a lot of you on Monday at 1 PM. So till next time, bye for now.